Shalom. Today I want to discuss the feasts. Just a little side note, I just look at my calendar. It's not 100% correct, so I'll publish a new one. Anyway, the principle is still true. It's just a week out, and you just need to move everything down a week. I just realized it now. And I did it early in the morning. I think it was Tuesday morning, and it was a bit rushed, so didn't thoroughly review it. Anyway, today I've got the menorah pattern up, and this is one of the slides I used to discuss Passover in relation to the spring festivals, in relation to the fall festivals, and how that relates to the 7 cycles that we discussed yesterday. But it's also linked to the sacrifices and the transition between the lion and the lamb. You'll see on the left there we've got a lion with a crown of thorns. That is the sacrificial lamb, and that's a symbol of Mashiach. And on the other side, when you lead up to Sukkot, you see another symbol of Mashiach, which is the lion or the king. And in prophecy it talks about the lion and the lamb, and those are the 2 attributes of Mashiach. You can also see both are crowned. The lion represents the Lion of Judah, the king, and that's also a symbol of the king that will come during the second coming. The first coming he came as a lamb. That is Mashiach ben Yosef. And at the end he will come at Mashiach ben David, which is the lion. Now, what you'll note is that there are 3 festivals associated with spring festivals. They are all interconnected, as I described. And what connects them is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the 7 days of which we are in. And then we have on the right side, we have 3 festivals that are interconnected, and they are in the month of Tishri, and they are associated with the second coming of Mashiach. Now, the second coming of Mashiach is preceded by the blowing of the trumpet. That's also a symbol of the wedding, the second part of the wedding, where the groom will come with his groomsmen in the middle of the night, blowing the shofars, blowing the trumpets, and the bride needs to be ready. And she needs a lamp in a window, and she needs to light the lamp whenever she hears the sound. And when the lamp is there, the light is there, the bride is there, then the wedding is still on, and he will gather his bride and take her to his father's house, which he prepared, which he had 2 years or 2,000 years to prepare. So that's the pattern of the Hebrew marriage. Now, the lamp, we all think it's a little lamp, little ladder lamp, or you see those once in Jerusalem, it's a clay pot little lamp. It's not a lamp like that. I believe it's a symbolism of the lampstand, which is also referenced in the book of Revelation, and that is the menorah. Now, the lamp that is lit in the window of the bride are the flames of the 7 festivals being lit every year as you progress through the cycle. So every time you celebrate and acknowledge one of these festivals, in the spirit, you basically light the flame. You put oil in the menorah and you light those specific branches associated with that season. So we've lit the 3 branches on the left during this Passover, unleavened bread and first fruits. And the oil that we put in the lamp is basically our preparation, because oil is squeezed, the olive is squashed, and through that it produces the golden oil that provides the fuel. And the ultimate outcome of the lamp and the oil and the person squeezing the olive, filling the lamp and lighting the oil is so that there can be a flame. So the flame is the most important thing. The flame is the end result. And fire, ish, also means foundation. And Yahweh is a consuming fire. It's a symbolism of his character, which is holiness. So as you light the flame every festival, or the 7 flames during the year, it's a symbol of your purification and holiness, and your light shining in this dark world. Because as you do these festivals, people will ask you, why don't you keep Easter? Why do Passover? Why don't you do it the normal Christian way? And that is an opportunity to shine your light, which is the truth regarding that topic. And you can tell them what your take is on the scriptures and why you believe it in that manner. Now, the reason it's important to shine a light, and a light doesn't make any sound, is predominantly actions. And the actions provoke people to think and then ask questions. And when they ask a question, you have a right to speak into their lives, because they've opened up the lines of communication, and now you can transfer the knowledge of what this light is about, of which they are acquiring about, and you can share that truth and that light with them. Whether they receive it or not, that's not the important thing. The fact is that you lit the light, you did the action, you provoked people to think about it and ask a question, and now truth flowed to them. Now it's up to them to do something with the truth, and they've got a responsibility to act on the truth. And Yahweh's Spirit will work in their hearts, if they're not believers, to bring them to conviction, or if they are entrapped in the system of Babylon, the system of religion, they will question their tradition in relation to the scriptures and go and search. And that's what you should say. I encourage you to search the scriptures and see that the traditions that you believe, if they can be found in the scripture, the things that I do, I can confirm with scripture. So my truth is based on the foundation of the word. What is your truth based on? You don't have to accuse them of anything. Just ask questions. We need to teach people how to think or to ask questions, because they just adopt things through tradition without questioning. And that's one of the major issues in our culture today. They just absorb whatever's flowing to them, and they accept it as the truth, specifically if there's a authority behind that opinion, if they studied for 7 years or whatever the case might be, or they're a rabbi, or they're this or that, and then they can trust the person because of their credentials. Now Yahweh has the credentials. He is the one who revealed this truth to us, and his credentials is the highest. So we should just reveal Yahweh's truth, Yahweh's authority regarding this truth, and then they need to do something with it. So that's the basic principle of the menorah. The quick side note on the festivals, they were all rehearsals, like dress rehearsals, like you get before a wedding. And the rehearsals they did every year. And when the Mashiach came the first time, during his first coming, he fulfilled the very things that they rehearsed every year. And they could recognize the Messiah because of the festivals. Very, very important. The reason why we do the festivals is because it reveals the Messiah. What about the Messiah? The work of the Messiah. And the one doing the work is the one shining the flame, the light and the truth, or the actions of the Mashiach. And these 7 flames represent the actions of Mashiach. And those are the actions that needs to be done by him in order to restore humanity, to get the foundation, which is the Ish, the fire of his character, because he is a consuming fire, back into this world of darkness. So his light will come down through the truth as revealed by Mashiach. And as important as the first coming, so are the 3 fall festivals, our guidelines and our filter to filter out the anti-Mashiach. Because if there's a Messiah and people believe it's a Messiah and he does not fulfill the things according to the fall festivals, he is the anti-Mashiach. And the problem is, if you read Matthew 24, the anti-Messiah comes before the real Messiah. Anti means in the place of. It's not a Mashiach that is against the other Mashiach. It is a Mashiach that's adopted and accepted in the place of the real. And that is the problem with the system of Babylon. There's so much confusion, mixing lies and truth, that you don't even know how to recognize the real Messiah. And anyone who do signs and wonders, call fire from heaven and do miracles, people will flock to that person. And if he's charismatic, he's got a gift of the tongue and he draws crowds, he will be recognized as the Messiah, especially if he preached peace. And that's the first horse, the bow without arrows. There's no weapon. And he's only for peace, white. But the real Mashiach is on a white horse with a cloak dipped in blood, with a sword. He's here to make war. He's not here to make peace. So that's the difference between the two Mashiachs. So I just want to leave you with those thoughts, and I hope you have a lovely day. Shalom.